Good morning, students. Today we will learn how the sex of the newborn organism is determined in sexually reproducing organisms. In sexually reproducing organisms, two sexes of organisms, that is male and female, participate in sexual reproduction to produce progeny organisms. These two sexes of organisms, that is male and female, are different from each other in their structure and function in order to play different functional roles during the sexual reproduction process. But by the time of birth, is the sex of individual organism determined, or before the birth itself is the sex of individual organism is determined? Means when the organism is getting delivered or hatched out from eggs or coming out from the mother's body, during that time is the sex of the organism is going to be determined, or before the birth itself is the sex of organism is going to be determined? Let us learn. Different species of sexually reproducing organisms have different strategies of sex determination. There are totally 3 types of sex determination strategies in different species of organisms. Number 1. Sex is determined by environmental cues or environmental conditions in some organisms. Example, certain reptiles. Reptiles means snakes, turtles, tortoises, crocodiles, etc. In certain reptiles, the temperature at which the eggs are hatched out, that temperature determines whether the animals produced from eggs are male or female. In some reptiles, the temperature at which the eggs are hatched out, means inside the egg embryonic development takes place. The temperature at which this embryonic development takes place, it determines whether the animal that is produced from the egg is female or male. In some turtles, if the environmental temperature is very above the average temperature, then the produced animals will be males. If it is below the average temperature, then also the produced animals will be males. Whereas if the environmental temperature is moderate, then the produced animals will be female. So in some animals, in some other reptiles, it may be different. At low temperature produced animals will be males. At high temperature produced animals will be females. Like that, totally, the temperature at which the embryonic development takes place inside the eggs, it determines whether the produced animal from the egg is male or female. In the animals like snails, especially a particular snail called slipper limpet, the individual organisms can change their sex during their lifetime. So, slipper limpet, it is a particular snail. It begins its life as male and it becomes female later. And generally, normal snails are hermaphrodites, means they have both the reproductive organs in the same animal, both male and female. Some snails, either they are male or females by the time of birth. But during the necessary conditions, they may change to other sex. For example, if two male snails are kept in one particular place for a longer period of time, they don't have the opposite sex having partner. Then out of those two snails, the bigger one changes itself into female, because in order to produce eggs and in order to carry out embryonic development, large sized animal is required in the form of female. So the large sized male, it is getting transformed itself into female snail. Like that, in some snails, there is a possibility of transformation of sex. So from these two examples, environmental cues and a necessary associated environmental conditions, okay, it can be said that in above type of organisms, sex is not genetically determined. Okay. The third one and most important one, and which is observed in most of the sexually reproducing animals, is genetic determination of sex. We are not going to discuss about all animals. We are going to discuss about ourselves only. In humans, like organisms, sex is genetically determined. What is genetic determination of sex? If the genes inherited from parents decide whether a particular child is a boy or a girl, then such determination of sex is known as genetic determination of sex. We know that similar gene sets are inherited from both the parents. Then how can genetic inheritance determine sex? If both the parents are giving the same gene sets into the child, then how the genes are determining the sex? Let us come to the point. Humans have 23 pairs or 46 chromosomes in each of their body cells. Out of these 23 pairs, 22 pairs are same in both male and female humans. The 23rd pair is different from male and female humans. This 23rd pair of chromosomes are known as sex chromosomes. The 23rd pair is not matching pair in male. Means it is mismatched pair in male. That means both the chromosomes are not same. Whereas it is a matching pair or perfect pair in female. That is, in females, the 23rd pair of chromosomes are same to each other. Like the remaining 22 pairs, how they are same to each other. In the same way, the 23rd pair of chromosomes also are same to each other in female. So, this 23rd pair of chromosomes, which is mismatching pair in male or in men, and which is matching or perfect pair in women, is known as sex chromosomal pair. Men have 22 pairs plus mismatched 23rd pair. And this 23rd mismatched pair, what chromosomes are present in men? X and Y. Why are we writing X and Y? In order to show the mismatching. X and Y are not same. They are not matching with each other. Either X and X can match or Y and Y can match. But X and Y, how can they match? They cannot match with each other. So in order to represent the mismatching pair, we are using XY. And women have 22 pairs and perfect 23rd pair. So X and X chromosomes are present as sex chromosomes in women. Out of these X and Y chromosomes, X is normal sized and Y is short sized chromosome. Women have X and men have X and Y as their sex chromosomes. We already have discussed it. Women produce egg cells or female gametes only with X chromosome. Why? Because what gametes get? Single set of chromosomes they get. Out of 22 pairs plus 23rd pair, out of 22 pairs, 122 chromosomes, one set of 22 chromosomes goes into one gamete. Another set of 22 chromosomes will go to another gamete. And 23rd pair also, one X goes to one gamete, another X goes to another gamete. So, whatever the X that they are produced by the women, they contain only X chromosome only. And the gametes produced by women are called egg cells. So, women produce all egg cells only with X chromosome along with the other 22 chromosomes. Whereas men produce 50% of the gametes with X and remaining 50% of the gametes with Y along with the 22 chromosomes. Right. So, all of the children will inherit only an X chromosome from their mother, whether they are boy or girl. All of the children will inherit only an X chromosome because all children are formed from X cells only, na? So, what X cell is giving? X chromosome only. So, all children will inherit an X chromosome compulsorily from their mother, irrespective of their gender or sex. So, how the sex of the child is determined then? The sex of the children will be determined by which chromosome they inherit from their father. We have discussed that the father produces 50% of the gametes with X chromosomes, another 50% of the gametes with Y chromosome. If egg cell is fertilized by a male gamete that contains Y chromosome, then the child is going to get XY sex chromosomes in its body cells. Then what will be its sex? The boy or male. The gender will be male. If the male gamete that is fertilizing the egg cell contains X chromosome, then the child is going to have X and X sex chromosomes in its body cells. Then the gender of the child will be what? Female, right? So the sex of the children will be determined by which chromosome they inherit from their father. If child inherits X chromosome from father, then the child will be a girl child. If a child inherits Y chromosome from father, then the child will be a boy child, right?